How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group, which has been crushing it. It also had a strong day on the Friday, and I'm so excited to do this video. It wasn't too long ago where I was telling you guys to be patient. Wait for that dip to come. We got that dip. We were able to load up in the $16 range, and look where we're at right now. I'm getting a lot of questions, and I'm going to be answering in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, or what are some key levels we want to look forward to going into Monday and as well as for the rest of the week. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. Are shorts heavily vested in this play? Does it have short squeeze potential? We're going to find out. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to see institutions loading up on shares for the Friday. The reason why we want to know this, because this can indicate a very bullish signal and looking forward to a further spike. And then when all of that is done, we'll go into the final thoughts and I'll answer a big time question that I have been getting. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Lucid Group. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $22.96, being up 8.46%. On the low, we tested $21.90, and then on the high, testing $23.51. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 104.116 million, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 32.631 million shares. So Lucid has been crushing it, and is part of the reasons by having this above average volume, we ended up seeing some strong appreciation in the stock price on the Friday. And when we take a look at our chart here, which is the 1-year daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 58.82. This is big when you take into consideration of the fact back on the 14th, we were at 38.90. Now, when we take a look at our chart, as far as for our moving averages are concerned, I love it. So we are well above the 21-day EMA. We're also above the 200-day. And of course, you can see we are above the 50-day. So what I want to see from Lucid, I want to see this run actually continue. On the Friday, we actually ended up testing $21.90 on the low. So this is something that you want to be aware of, and you want to see a continuation, holding down the support. And I'm going to call it out right now. If we could hold $22 as far as this week progressing, then we can look forward to making that move, essentially going to the $24 level. Of course, this is going to be a psychological area. There's going to be a lot of profit taking, but if this momentum continues, as you can see, the volume has been picking up, then we can easily get past this $24 level, which I'd be looking for a next move getting here to around $24.41. There might be some profit taking and so on, but again, if this momentum and this pattern continues, then we could easily get to 25, and this is where we're going to have some resistance here, as you've seen in the past. But again, I want to make sure that you guys keep this on your radar. When I was telling you to wait for the dip on Lucid, you could have bought in right into the $16 range, right? So we are definitely riding a nice uptrend here. So you want to be able to hold up this $22 level. But what we'd really want to see is being able to use a 200-day as support right at $22.38. So let's see how it goes for Monday and as well as for the rest of the week. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for Lucid. Scrolling down on the page, short shares availability is at 4 million, updated 8 minutes ago. And for the short ball free rate, it is at 1.41%. Taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 16th, it was at 38.16. And in the close for Friday that just passed, it was at 41.67. So one thing that we can clearly see, Lucid still continues continues to have short squeeze potential. Shorts are heavily vested in this play, and we're seeing an increase in regards to overall position. So what this means, we can look forward to seeing a lot more volatility inside of this stock. But if we end up getting the volume that we have been getting, especially what we had on the Friday, we could see continuation of strong moves from Lucid. So keep this on your radar, but do know that if the volume is a lot lower, or if there's a dramatic difference in regards to sellers inside of the stock wanting to take profits, then we could see this price actually starting to pull back. So let's keep an eye on it. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 403, and then on the outflow, it was 333. On the large, it was 14.74. On the medium, it was 255. And then on the small, it was 133. Gotta love an inflow day from Lucid. Now, when we take a look at the outflow day on the large, it was 5.64. On the medium, it was 220. And then on the small, it was at 108. So we had a surplus in every single category for the inflow side. And even when we take a look at the retail side, we probably had a lot of traders who were taking profits on the Friday due to so that's why we had 108 million. But taking a look at the small side, we also had a lot of retail investors that were buying up shares, scooping it up due to the fact that, hey, they're probably having some FOMO and also just wanted to make sure they have a position in this play, seeing that it could actually move up even further. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we can see for September the 17th, which was on the Friday, being at 9,091.95. So we see it was a strong day for Lucid. Institutions were loading up on shares. We got a lot of great news last week, and I just feel like, you know what, institutions are making sure I'm going to have my position in this thing due to the fact that, hey, as far as those updates, as far as the price targets, and also seeing the range that you're able to get on their batteries, they're starting to be very bullish. But we already know what the potential is for Lucid already, so we're able to actually get in a lot earlier than those institutions, especially since they just loaded up on Friday while we were loading up at $16 and so on. But anyways, let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, there's some key areas that I want you guys to look out for. On the Friday, we had resistance at $23.51. If we're able to revisit this level, whether it's on the Monday or sometime this week, then we can look forward to seeing a strong push where we want to see Lucid actually test $24. And from there, I could see a lot of profit taking. But like I was saying, if we have continued momentum, we could easily get past this. But just know that is a psychological area. The next level that I want you guys to look out for is right at the 200-day at $22.38. So what this means, if it does decide to pull back, this is an area that I would love to see hold up. If it wants to go back even further than that, then the next level to keep an eye on would be $22, and you want to see that hold. If it does not hold, it could pull back even further and just consolidate. So with all of that said, even going on Fintel and taking a look at the short interest information, shorts are still heavily vested inside of this play. So this is why you're going to see a lot of continued volatility, and this is why it thrives on volume, just like many other plays. And part of the reasons why Lucid has been moving very well like it has been was due to the increased volume. Now, as far as answering that question, many of you are saying, yo, Dre, you told us to wait for that dip. I bought it at $16 range, that $17 range. Is it time to take profits? That is not my decision to make. I'm going to be clear. It is not my decision to tell you guys, okay, this is the time for you to take profits. That's going to come down to you and what your strategy is. If it's for the short term, then of course you want to say, well, you know what? Here's my percentage gain. This is exactly what I was looking for. Then you move on. One thing I want to tell you though is do not get greedy. Do not let your emotions get in the way. This is a growth stock at the end of the day, and it can easily pull back. And you guys have seen this long enough already. And if you've been doing your homework and as well as your due diligence, then you should be able to come up with a profit target that is right for you. Another reason why I don't tell people, well, you know what, this is the time to sell or to get out of your position if you're in this play for the short term. I don't know what your cost average is. You could have bought in at 20. You could have bought in at 21 and then telling you guys, well, you know what, take profits at 23. Again, that does not work for everybody. And then on top of that, what I want to add, the last thing I want to do is tell you guys, hey, you know what, this is when you should be selling, and then the stock price moves up even further. I don't want to take the responsibility for that. You need to actually take ownership for that. Because I've seen many times before where I've been in a play and I'm like, you know what? Here's where my profit target is. I take my profits and then it runs up even further. So this is why I myself, I love to ride the trend. So learning from all of those experiences that I've had in the past, that's how I know where the right level is to take profits for myself. And also along the way, I also take profits as the stock continues to move. So what that means is I go in with different positions. So if the trend is continuing to ride, I'll add more to the position. If it starts to pull back, then I'll take some profits on that pullback. And if it starts to trend back up, this is part of the reasons why you guys see me using moving averages and so forth. So you need to figure out what is right for you and what's going to make you happy at the end of the day. Plus on top of that, when you do choose a profit target, be happy with it. Don't have regrets telling yourself, oh man, I took profits too early. No, you never go broke taking profits. Now, for anyone that's in Lucid for the long term, because I know I'm going to get a lot of messages, people saying in the comment section, this guy's telling people to sell or giving them the indication to sell right now. Again, this comes down to traders who are in this for the short term. As far as for anyone who's going long, I would not be adding at my position at these current levels. You take advantage of those pullbacks when it happens. This is a growth stock. They will have some offerings in the future. When it does pull back, that's where you start to pounce. You don't just start buying in because it's moving up further. And due to the fact I'm telling you guys this, the last thing I want you to do is have FOMO, saying to yourself, well, you know what? I bought a lot of shares of Lucid under 20 bucks. Now it's going up on this run. Shoot, if it goes to 25, I'm gonna buy more. If it goes to 30, I'm gonna buy more. That is not the way to go about doing it. You want to dollar cost average your way in, but by using dollar cost averaging, you only add to your position when the stock is dipping or it's correcting or when it's pulling back and you have high conviction. That is the perfect way to go about it. So even when it starts running up further, you will be able to enjoy even more profits. So as far as for the long term is concerned, I would not be touching it because that's the most obvious situation. So figure out what you want to do, whether it's short term, medium term, or long term, and then just go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.